Inside every human being exists a hidden battlefield, a place unseen by the world, where no one else can walk but you. It is here that wars are fought, every single day, wars that leave no scars on your skin, but tear you apart from within. We live in a world that rewards masks, a world where your survival often depends on how well you can hide your wounds. We are told to stay strong, keep pushing, and never let them see you break. And so, from a young age, we begin to craft our armor. We learn to smile when our heart aches, to speak calmly when anger boils inside us, and to pretend to be fine when our entire being is screaming for help. But this armor comes at a cost. Every time you silence yourself, every time you bury your pain deep inside, you add another brick to the walls you build around your soul. At first, those walls feel safe. They shield you from judgment, rejection, and vulnerability. You tell yourself, "I don't need anyone." You convince yourself that you are strong because you don't cry, because you don't show weakness, because you keep moving forward no matter what. But what if that is not strength? What if your silence is not a sign of resilience, but a prison you've built for yourself? The illusion of strength. We live in an age where strength is often mistaken for numbness. People applaud the stoic, the silent, the ones who never let emotions show. "You're so strong," they say, not realizing that the person they admire has simply learned to shut down, to disconnect from their own humanity. True strength isn't about locking your emotions away. True strength is having the courage to confront them, to sit in the darkness and admit what hurts. But society doesn't teach us that. It teaches us to keep running, to stay busy, to bury ourselves in distractions so we don't have to face what is inside. This is why so many live as strangers to themselves. They can list every detail about their favorite celebrities. They can recite political arguments. They can drown themselves in endless entertainment. But they don't know their own mind. They fear silence because, in silence, their demons grow louder. We've built a culture where it's easier to escape than to heal. People spend their entire lives chasing success, relationships, status, anything to fill the void they refuse to face. But no matter how far you run, the battle follows you. The silent battle. The silent battle is not fought against other people. It's not about revenge, competition, or proving yourself. This war is fought entirely within you, between who you truly are and who the world has told you to be. Inside, there's the part of you that longs for freedom, the child you once were, the dreams you buried, the voice you silenced. And then, there's the mask you wear, the persona you crafted to survive, the person others expect you to be. Over time, these two versions of yourself drift further apart. The more you pretend, the more disconnected you feel. You start to wonder, who am I, really? And when you no longer know the answer, you feel lost, even if your life appears perfect from the outside. This is why people with fame, wealth, and power can still feel empty. No amount of external achievement can silence an internal war. The pain you refuse to face will always find a way to surface through anxiety, depression, anger, or even physical illness. The cost of silence. We are taught to believe that silence is noble, that suffering quietly is a sign of strength. But silence often comes at a high price. Every unspoken truth, every moment you swallow your emotions, becomes a weight on your soul, and the more you carry, the heavier it gets. Eventually you become numb, not because you're healed, but because you're exhausted. You stop feeling joy because you've spent years suppressing pain. You can't selectively numb emotions. When you shut down sadness, you also shut down happiness. Life becomes dull, robotic, predictable. You go through the motions, but you're not really alive. And yet, most people choose this over the discomfort of facing their truth. Why? Because facing your truth requires vulnerability, and vulnerability feels terrifying. It means admitting that you're not okay, that you're not in control, that you need help. And in a world that worships self-sufficiency, this feels like weakness. But vulnerability is not weakness. It is the first step toward freedom, breaking the cycle. How do you end the silent battle? The first step is to stop running, stop distracting yourself. Stop pretending you're fine. Stop burying what hurts. Sit in the silence. It will be uncomfortable at first. You will want to escape. Your mind will scream for distraction. But if you stay long enough, you will begin to hear your own voice again. Listen to that voice. It has been silenced for too long. It will tell you what you need, what you fear, what you've been avoiding. It will remind you of who you are beneath the mask. Healing is not glamorous. It's not about motivational quotes or quick fixes. It's about courage to feel everything you've been avoiding. It's about sitting with your pain until it no longer controls you. The power of self-awareness. Most people go through life on autopilot. They react to situations based on old wounds. They repeat patterns without realizing it, and they let fear dictate their choices. But the moment you become self-aware, the battle begins to shift. Self-awareness is like turning on the light in a dark room. Suddenly, you see the patterns that have been controlling you. You see the beliefs you inherited from others, the traumas you never healed from, the ways you've been sabotaging yourself. This awareness is painful at first, but it is also liberating, because once you see the truth, you have a choice. You can choose to break the cycle. You can choose to rewrite your story. The courage to be seen. For many, the greatest fear is not failure, but being seen for who they truly are. They fear rejection, judgment, abandonment. So, they hide. They present a curated version of themselves to the world, a version that is acceptable, likable, safe. But deep down, they long for connection, real connection. The kind that only comes when you are fully yourself. This is why so many relationships feel shallow. If you're wearing a mask, and the other person is wearing a mask, neither of you are truly connecting. You are only connecting through illusions. To be truly seen, you must first see yourself. You must embrace the parts of you that you've been taught to hide. You must learn to love yourself, not just the good parts, but the broken, messy, imperfect parts as well. The path to inner freedom, the silent battle, will not end overnight. It is not a single decision, but a daily practice. Every day you will be tempted to put the mask back on. You will be tempted to silence your voice, to suppress your emotions, to avoid the truth. But every time you choose honesty over pretense, every time you choose courage over fear, every time you choose to face yourself instead of running, you weaken the walls you've built. Over time, those walls will crumble, and when they do, you will realize that the strength you were searching for was never about hiding your pain, but about owning it. True strength is not about being invincible, it's about being human. It's about embracing your flaws, your emotions, your vulnerability, and still choosing to rise every single day. Final reflection: the world doesn't need more perfect people. It doesn't need more masks. It needs more truth. It needs people willing to share their stories, to be real, to show others that they are not alone in their struggles. If you are tired of the silent battle, start by being honest with yourself, and then with the world. You will be surprised by how many people are fighting the same war behind their smiles. And perhaps, when enough of us lay down our masks, we will finally find the connection and peace we've been searching for all along.